वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा.
गीतध्वनिकुतकधीं नातृकीटत्वं नाच रहे गोरी कातिततै तति तिरतुं 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 गीतध्वनिकुतकधीं बाज पायल कहूँ जनन जनन बाज पायल कहूँ जनन जनन बाज पायल कहूँ जनन 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 दीं जनन 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 दीं जनन 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 तान गावे तकत तै तै तान गावे तकत तै तै तान गावे तकत तै 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 तदकतडं धीं नकिटतकदीं धीं नकिटतकदीं धीं नकिटतकदीं मततों मततों मतगीतध्वनिकुतकधीं नातृकीटत्वं नाच रहे गोरी कातिततै तति तिरतुं गीतध्वनिकुतकधीं ध्वनिकुतकधीं धीं ध्वनिकुतकधीं.
I had a dream. This is a story when I could not wake up. I had a dream. I saw shapes and colors twisted around each other, dancing on the edges of insanity. This is a story when I could not stay awake. I had a dream. I met a ghost, a goddess, a monster, an angel, and a siren dancing on the edges of their truth and lies, spoken by men pretending to be gods, by myth, by history, by you, by us trying to shape my mind about being a woman. I had a dream where life, death, and afterlife twisted around each other, dancing on the edges of sanity. I had a dream. This is a story where I became Nyra. Nyra, Nyra's dreams. Saraswati creator, Saraswati creator. Nyra, Nyra's dreams. You may not like what I am. You may not like what I can do. You may not like what I can shape. You may not know that you are made because of me. Did you forget? What do you like to see? A dream is not yours to steal. Gods are not made. Gods are not created. Gods are not awake until I wake up.
Oh, I'm here. Because you think I'm lying. I'm not sure why I agreed to be here. Oh, I've been here before, and I have said the same thing. It's a cycle of something quite ridiculous. It's like I drew a picture, colored it black and white, framed it, ready to hang on the wall, and then realized it's supposed to be a painting with bright colors. Of course, it's not a big deal, as I can always create another painting. But it can be, if the colors meant something in that moment. Being timely, you know? Respecting time. Oh, I know, I should be talking more to you, because that's the only way you will know if I am telling the truth or not. You can watch my eye twitch. My eyes might shift a certain way. My body might start breathing differently. I might fidget. Or my fingers might move. But this is not in my control. This sometimes happens with no trigger. So don't direct your observations with this. Okay. So my name is Nyra, with N for Nancy. I'm always on time, and I'm here because you think I'm lying. No, really, see, don't shake your head. I would rather have you think of me as lying than someone who belongs here. I am not crazy. I'm also not about to lose my mind. It's all quite here, along with the actual truth. I'm here on a quest to ask one question to 3 individuals on behalf of a god. And if they answer honestly, they will receive a gift, a choice, whether to stop aging and live for another 100 years, guilt-free, or choose to die in next 30 minutes. Why? Because this is my quest, where I am to prove that I can be a divine creature who can deliver justice to her souls, her subjects, offering them deserving peace and solace. The trick here is, though, that all of my souls, my subjects, have to answer honestly, and they have to pick the option to live. My supervisor, whose name keeps changing constantly, and currently it is Shri. Well, according to him, this world is still a hopeful world, and my quest is to deliver hope to my souls, my subjects, who can change the world for the better. This quest was delivered to me in my dream. We all are supposed to have quests. Though I always have this similar quest. Okay, no one really believes what I say next, but you. I can remember my past lifetimes. You don't seem so surprised. But this is quite the norm for someone like me who is in the line to be the next new god. Well, of course, even I'm surprised by this development, but here we are, and here I am, ready and qualified for the next level. Don't think that I don't have experience to do a really good job. I do. But in this lifetime, my parents have been generous to me all my life, especially with that inheritance that I received on my 18th birthday. That money has been very helpful in the last 10 years. With my overreaching search for my 3 souls, who I know are fabulous, wonderful people who will help me to be a god this lifetime. Not sure if I die when I succeed in my quest to be a god, but being a god. I mean, can you imagine? Exactly, of course I am, yes, so that's when I have enough pull and strength, access to find my way back home to my birthplace of Prithvi. Oh, you know, the place between heaven and earth. Yeah, of course, yes, even I don't know why I left in the first place. Of course, things never what? No, of course I am who I always was. That's what I'm trying to stop it. Revenge? No. So time, yes, timely. See, time, yes, I am talking. Time runs out. Yes, I hear you. I hear you. safe. I also remember a slap on the back of my head, reminding me to bow my head. So this is when the houses were just beginning to build out of mud bricks for families for the very first time. It's interesting that what we consider as everyday aspects of life were invented and innovated by people of ancient India, including flush toilet, sewage and drainage system, mathematics, public pools, plastic surgery, yoga and meditation, and many more. It's the birthplace of 4 religions: Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. The Raja who lived in that palace had grand stone pillars and a beautiful sculpture carved of goddess Shakti. I remember I had to bow my head walking into that cold house, not knowing how Shakti looked. But this one day, a claw made of stone grabbed a corner of my eye, and my eyes had to crawl up, and I saw the beautiful goddess Shakti. And I had the most glorious thought. The place where the most powerful man, the Raja, the king, who will decide everything for all in the village, will still unknowingly be bowing his head in front of a woman forever. Whether anyone else got that or not, I got it, and I was happy. But earlier that day, I was dancing in a temple and felt safe, not knowing that I was being watched. I was being recruited. That day, my father received an invitation with red seal to join the Raja at sundown. I was invited to join, which is a surprise because girls were not asked to join anywhere at sundown. It was frowned upon. In fact, I was warned not to continue dancing as I grow older because the men in our village would ask me to meet them at sundown. Nyra! My father. He was an artist. His art objects were weapons. I always found them very heavy. But he had promised to create something new and light just for me so I could have it everywhere. He was always worried about me. I was too outspoken for my own good. Nyra! See, honesty is good. Honesty is good, but not hasty honesty. That will get you in trouble, beta, quicker than you actively causing trouble. I still don't get it. Honesty should always be good. But until that moment, it seems like a dream. But then I remember a woman with a calm smile asking my father to let me be the palace's Devdasi. Her name was Syra. My father had heard many stories and did not know which rumor was true. I had never heard that name, Devdasi. I tried saying that in my mind. I felt welcomed into a secret world where women look strong, beautiful, and happy. Syra was a Devdasi, but she was a warrior, even though Devdasis were only thought of as temple dancers. I wanted to be like Syra, but I also wanted to keep dancing. Baba, you must make me that weapon now. I will have to fight. Nyra, come here, Nyra, just a moment. Nyra. No, Baba, you heard them. They're asking me to be Devdasi. And we all know Devdasis are warriors of goddess Shakti. That means Devdasis are servants of gods. What do servants of gods really do, Baba? Nyra, come here, come, beta. I did not agree. I did not agree. Nyra, I bet they're chosen to protect others. Protect others like you and Ma. You both will always be protected now. I'm sure I will learn music and dance. That's why someone was watching me dance. I will also fight. I will learn how to fight. I will get a weapon. Baba, you must make me a weapon. Something new and special just for me. I will need it in case my quick tongue surprises someone stronger than me. I wonder if me being a Devdasi means not to be as blunt and honest as I am. Oh, no. Sarvati, I feel so blessed to be one of the chosen ones. I bet when I grow older and stronger, I get to choose someone else to be the Devdasi, to be the servant of God with me.
Dev means God and Dasi means servant. The term Devdasi translates to servant of God. Initially, Devdasis were noble handmaidens chosen to serve God through various arts, including singing and dancing. This role was considered highly honorable and spiritually significant. Devdasi's earliest record is found in 6th century AD. Some scholars argue that classical Indian dance form, Bharatnatyam, also had roots in the Devdasi system.
Over time, the Devdasi system evolved and faced significant challenges. With British and foreign invasions and the destruction of temples, Devdasis lost their financial support and respectable status in society. As the British established rule in India, they viewed the Devdasi system negatively, equating it with prostitution.
Various factors contribute to girls entering the Devdasi system, including economic needs and religious beliefs. A survey by the non-profit organization Sampar revealed that many girls are pushed into the system to earn money for their families or due to illness. When this practice was prevalent in ancient India, Devdasis were also chosen from the grandest of families. They were either highly educated or well-versed with art. But today, Devdasis are not only victims of sexual exploitation, but also of caste discrimination.
And most of the times, they are completely illiterate. To sum it up, today, Devdasis has taken the form of the most vulnerable and poorest segment of India's sexual exploitation. Historically, laws were enacted to outlaw the Devdasi system, such as the Bombay Devdasi Prevention Act and the Madras Devdasi Prevention Act. But even today, this system is followed illegally in some states.
The geographical concentration of this system is low and is practiced in maybe 1 or 2 states in India now. But many times, to push young girls into this system, a horrifying method like trafficking is used. Once a Devdasi is associated with their name, they don't even know when they will reach the brothels of Mumbai and Kolkata. The girls are sometimes handed over by their families. They have a belief that by offering their daughter to goddess Yelema, all their problems will be solved. But unknowingly, they give their daughters to a pimp instead of God. Many official agencies don't even acknowledge the existence of Devdasis.
The art part of the Devdasi system that gave them a royal status in ancient India has completely vanished. That status has been suppressed under poverty, caste, and cultural suppression, and it is difficult for them to get out of all this, because the society has stigmatized them. That is why they are still associated with the system, and they will keep the future generations connected.
What we can do is support organizations that are working non-stop to help Devdasis and trafficking all over the world. Just like the solution to half of the problems in society is proper education, the biggest way to uproot the Devdasi system is education.
In no world, a 5-year-old girl should be dedicated in the name of God and later forced into prostitution.
Sometimes I wish I should be able to change things because I hope for something better. Why can't hope be enough for big changes? My dad, whose name is Mike, once said to me that he hoped for someone to love him like he wanted, and for his parents to like them. He got what he hoped for. He met my father James, and they have been together for 40 years. No, I'm not going to let you guess how old I am. It's a divine secret. It really is. Sorry I got distracted. Back to my search. I met my first soul in Germany. Her name is Patty. She's a teacher. She's wonderful. Basically, she is a saint. I taught once 4-year-olds for 30 minutes and felt like my hair was on fire. Well, literally one of the kids pulled my hair. So in my frame of context, Patty is one of the saints who works as a teacher. She lives in a 1-bedroom flat in a neighborhood called Wedding in Berlin. I land on a school day, on a Wednesday. She's buying a loaf of bread from her local bakery owned by a man of Turkish-German descent. I very gently tap on her shoulder. Well, I thought we had a telepathic connection. You see, I know she likes to eat the German bread called pumpernickel, which is slightly sweet for my tongue, but it's quite delicious with savory seeds. I know she likes to eat one slice of pumpernickel bread with honey, and the second slice with orange marmalade. If I know how she likes to begin her every day, I thought she would know that today would be the day that something extraordinary would be happening for her. Or at the least, she slightly knows me. No, that was not the case. So I gently tap on her shoulder. She's startled and rushes on me to go out the door. I'm so confused that I do not move for a few seconds. And when I do, I chase her to her bicycle and I say the first thing that comes to my mind to get her attention, Pete! The name of her dog. It's an instant stop. I slowly turn my head to look at her. I think she looks dramatic. She takes out her keys as a weapon between us, and that's when I know I messed up. There is no telepathy involved. There is also no way for me to make her feel safe and comfortable to answer my question honestly. I am terrified that she's about to lose her only chance to live as an immortal, or more precisely as a mortal, for another 100 years, guilt-free. She could do anything. I wanted that for a teacher saint like her. So I picked the simplest question to ask her that she could answer easily. Do you want to keep living? I'm slightly out of practice. I need some help with these questions. Not sure how I managed in my past lifetimes, but the fact that I'm still here and not a god should show that I might need some help here. I thought this lifetime was just my last chance to be a god. I would get some help. I would at least know something more. For someone like me, who is in the line to be the next new god. But as of now, I know nothing, except for some mind-numbing memories and experiences that keep shocking my mind, body, and soul. I know nothing. So I ask her, do you want to keep living? She answers very quietly, yes? I could not think of anything else to ask her. So I assume that's it. I ran to my Airbnb place, too terrified to do anything because I felt so guilty to have scared a teacher saint to fear for her life. I took the first flight back home to Chicago, but it was supposed to be one question, and they had to answer it honestly. As far as I'm concerned, 1/3 of my quest it's completed successfully. No. Well, you know, at the least she is still safe and alive. describe freedom. No. I was asked in my dream interview. Oh, let me explain what a dream interview is. It's where all the chosen attendants in the line to be the next new god are interviewed in their dream state, in the human world, by a hazy figurine, but dressed in teal, blue, and gold. I know that. Apparently there are many types of worlds, and many types of souls who can be the next new god. I was curious and nosy, and decided to take a look at my competition. Some of them seem very, what's the word? What's the word I am? Terrifying. Well, some of them seem very terrifying. Well, anyway, I was asked to describe freedom in my dream interview, and I responded with, freedom is a choice to be able to dance when asked to sing. Maybe it should have been more like, freedom is the choice to be anywhere and smell the flowers. Freedom is the presence of an unbroken self-will to choose. What do you think?
Yeah.
Sorry. Here we are surrounded by distractions. Another lifetime. Another unhelpful memory for my current quest. I remember it like it was yesterday, when I was enlisted on the streets of Mahabalipuram in South India. I'm sitting outside a temple on the stairs, staring at a puddle at the bottom of the stairs, at a new bruise on my cheekbone, thanks to Samir, perfecting my new excuse to tell him when I returned home after my dance class. And as I'm about to leave, I am met by a goddess. I know her now. She really is a goddess. I just had a dance about goddess Saraswati. And had done it beautifully. And here I was meeting someone who might know goddess Saraswati personally. She and goddess Saraswati both wanted me to rebel against what was forced upon me about God and life. They both wanted me to find my own truth, my path on my own. I was also told that I would be seeing goddess Saraswati personally if I followed my path and their advice. I can escape. Not sure what words were spoken to convince me to enlist. But here I am, after many years and multiple lifetimes, still waiting to meet the good old Saras. Apparently I'm one of hers, so she will never meet me. Wish I had known that before. I'm not sure if the reason offered to me was true, but the reason she cannot really meet me is because I am made up of what she is made up of, so we cannot really coexist in the same plane of life. I think we both are made of atoms of gullibility, because second soul in Punta Cana, in Dominican Republic. Her name is Market. She works as a chef at a very well-to-do resort. This time I was more prepared. I was not expecting a telepathic connection. I made a list of 10 questions as my first draft, and then I narrowed it down to 3 based on our life choices, like choosing to live in a 2-bedroom with 2.5 bathroom condo in a luxurious-looking building in an exclusive residential community. She did not drive, yet she was choosing to pay for a condo with a 2-car garage space. She was always surrounded by a lot of people, clattering dishes, and a malevolent supervisor. So it makes sense for her to choose to live in a building surrounded by luscious greenery, discreetly chattering birds, and a benevolent neighbor. She was an orphan and was adopted by a family from Georgia in US. She landed in Punta Cana as a year off from her medical school, which became a permanent breakup from the medical school and her then girlfriend. When I was planning to visit her, she was dating a beautiful real estate agent with a boisterous family who was thinking of proposing to her. I thought it all seemed very timely, me finding her and she about to enter a serious commitment. I thought since she had figured out all the things that people prioritize in their life and must be thinking beyond her immediate existence, like, what is life about? Why things are the way they are? God versus spirituality. All the things that humans normally have time to ponder upon when their immediate needs are met. Based on that, I knew I was in a good place to come up with the right question to ask her, and I was banking on her blunt, cut-to-the-bone attitude to answer that honestly, so that she could get more time to live her well-worked-out life longer. I decided to find my way to her workplace. I came in as an investor who wanted to invest, help build their supporting their 700-seat outdoor theater. I did let the resort owner know that I was indeed serious about investing, but on one condition, that I get to survey their ongoing operations, starting with the kitchen, and that I expect to have a brief chat with the kitchen staff, especially the chef, Market. The resort owner was surprisingly not difficult with my request, and for a moment there, I wanted to gift him his deepest desire. See, if I was in a position to offer divine gifts at my will. No, okay. But his deepest desire was to find a way to forgive someone who had harmed him greatly. Yeah, not something I can help him with anyway. Well, and I've been told by the hazy figurine in my dream state that contrary to what we have been taught, forgiving someone who has harmed you greatly does not really prolong or even enlighten your life. It just makes you rethink what is possible for you to feel or do. Not sure why the hazy figurine, who I call Shri in my mind, chose to tell me that. I landed on Sunday, checked into my hotel room, dropped my bags off, grabbed a mimosa that my hotel was graciously offering at my front desk, and made my way to the dining room. I'm greeted by the breakfast host, who directs me to a two-top by the window. Perfect. I can people watch, but more importantly, when Margaret sits in front of me, she will feel safe. As in, she will have the entire world walking by on one side of her and her everyday world with her dining staff on the other. I have crafted a perfectly safe space for my second soul. The host knows that I'm here to speak with Margaret first. So far, I'm liking everything about the place. And I'm indeed a serious investor in the business, along with my divine potential. The dining staff starts breaking down the breakfast buffet, and I'm told they have 2 hours to set up for lunch. Margaret can speak with me 15 minutes tops. Well, I sip my mimosa calmly. I see the kitchen door swing open into the dining room, and Margaret briskly walks towards the host, who directs her towards me, and Margaret walks the last 20 feet towards me and greets me with, "Hi, welcome. I hear I'm special, since I'm the first one to speak with you." She says that with no smile, and I know what my question is to be, that you are special. Food is where comfort is. That you're right. How can I help you? If you can answer one question of mine, I will be on my way. Oh, sure. Shoot. Are you happy? She's surprised, and a shocked laugh shoots out of her. I have nothing more to add just yet, so I just smile back. Are you asking me how am I happy at the resort? So this is a response and not an answer. So I say nothing back, though I'm feeling a little fidgety now. Are you asking me how things are in the kitchen? This is a dicey area. I cannot help her to answer my question honestly, though I can see now that she's more annoyed and then surprised and is staring back at me, waiting for me to do something. So I do a fake nod at the host, hoping that rushes Margaret to answer my question, and looking at my watch, I ask her again, "Are you happy?" "Well, yes, I am very satisfied here." She answers, leaning towards me, placing her elbows on the table, her fingers crushed with her eyes squinting together, creating creases on her forehead, and flashes me a terrifying grin. I felt challenged. I'm also ecstatic to see that. That is as honest as anyone can be. Women are always expected to have a happy face, and it's quite irritating and exhausting for us. Though there can be penalties on the professional front if the happy face is not the resting face for the woman. Margaret was good at what she does, but she was not happy in her life, and she answered that honestly, as far as I am concerned, with her body language. So I decided to ask her the second question that will grant her the choice. Well, great. I do have a second question for you. If you had to choose, would you choose to stop aging and live for another 100 years, guilt-free, or choose to die in the next 30 minutes? What the hell? I'm sorry. This is a waste of my time. I know. But if you had to choose, what would it be? Choose when I can die. Huh? No. Yeah, no. Choose to stop aging and live for another 100 years, guilt-free, and then decide when you want to die, or choose to die in the next 30 minutes. Okay? But then I choose to stop aging and live for 100 years. I immediately thank her and make my way out of the dining room. As far as my quest is concerned, that's 2 for 2. Okay. See, I never give up. I always keep trying. Okay. I learned to... Okay, it's not funny, I know. I learned a little over 6 months ago that Margaret was suffering from cancer. She managed to hide that from her workplace, her fiancé, and me. So no treatment seems to be working for her. She's also not aging. travels around the world. Sometimes physically and geographically. Now I'm going to the place where I should have gone in the first place, when I was thrown into this hellish life of being able to grant gifts of life and death without being able to get lost in another world, unable to see, hear, or feel the after effects of my actions. I cannot wait to be a god. But now I'm going to the place of wandering and lingering. Smells of incense and petrol. The place where you get the best sandalwood soap. The place where you hear music playing from small alleyways to large crowded main streets, from slums to houses with big glass windows. The place where my fantasies and imagination do not really coincide with its known history. The place where my personal history is shrouded within the fantasies and imagination of who I am and where I come from. Well, India. I should have gone to India in the first place, in the search of my third soul. It took me years of hard work to finally realize to search in an obvious place for me. My third soul is in India. Her name is Thtr. She was a Devdasi. about her. But not quite how she became a Devdasi herself at age of 8. It's my memory. It's like a white line on a cracked piece of rock, sometimes distinct and sometimes with holes. Well, when I found her, she was living in a mud hut in a small village in the state of Karnataka in South India. Her home was tiny, with one room built to cook simple meals of rice, roti, and dal. But by the time I found her, she was 20 years old. I remember the difference between now and when I was a Devdasi was that whether we expressed our sexuality or not was our choice. Or at least it felt like it was our choice. There was no force. Her second room was her bedroom, her living room, and a tiny space to wash herself. She would have to walk out of her home onto a small path to a shared public bathroom for all of her other toiletry needs. When I finally dropped off in front of her home, I'm warned not to speak with the woman living inside the house. I remind my driver that Maitri is a Devdasi, and he responds with, "Hama!" That's what I'm saying. The woman here is a Devdasi, not a good person or time to talk to. Come at night when it's dark and no one can see you. What are you saying? Don't talk nonsense. No nonsense, Amma! Not a good sign for you to be there inside. Okay, well, you wait here. I will call you when I'm done. No, I'm not waiting here. I'm going to the temple. You call me when you're done. And he drives off. But it's like in those animated movies where the car is zigzagging in a hurry to rush off with multiple clouds of black smoke churning behind it. I turn towards Maitri's door. And as I'm about to knock on her door, the wind is probably unnaturally very active, and her front door swings open with a wide bang. Maitri is hanging a sari with a red designed border on a rope hung inside a veranda-looking space. I find it interesting that she does not have a bathroom in her home for her own needs, but has a veranda that creates a distance between her and the villagers. I think she's surprised to see me. But this time I feel more prepared, because she's a Devdasi. And I too was one, in one of my past lives. Not sure how often people reference their past lifetimes, but it's quite the norm, where I'm from and where I'm going. Oops. I realize it very late. I don't know Kannada, her native language. No. I never heard her voice asking God for anything. Even at her lowest, her heart seems to be always quiet. There never seems to be any sadness or longing waiting to be resolved. Though there is this quiet resignation about her soul that I'm curious about. I wonder if it is something to do with her being a Devdasi or something else. The point is, since I know so much about her emotions, I never really connected her with words in my mind and forgot that she may not know English. I know. It's such first world, irresponsible know-it-all of me to assume that I may not need to know the words in the native language of the city or the country I'm visiting. So here I am, stumped. How to begin? So I start with how all white people who have visited India for enlightenment have done for Namaste, Maitri! Okay, there is no response. She's not impressed by my brown skin not knowing anything more than namaste. So I take off my shoes. She keeps staring at me and has not moved an inch. I take a note out of my bag that my maid in my India house has written for me in Hindi. I hope she understands Hindi since Hindi is the national language. Namaste Maitri. मेरा नाम नायरा है. मैं आपकी मदद करना चाहती हूँ. Maybe she does not understand Hindi. Hindi is the national national language, but in small parts of India, regional languages like Kannada are more prominent than Hindi. Namaste Maitri. मेरा नाम नायरा है. मैं आपकी मदद करना चाहती हूँ. I repeat my greeting, I tell her my name, and that I want to help her. There is no response, though she starts wiping her wet hands with a dull-looking napkin attached to her sari, which has brown feathered peacocks on the edges of it. I wonder if maybe this is the trip where I finally get to see peacocks just crossing the streets during the monsoons in India, as I've been told. Then I wonder, are there peacocks in South India? Oh, I knew today was not a good day to wear mascara, but here we are. Not knowing my crazy mind jumps, Maitri has brought me a glass of water. Not sure how to say no because I only drink filtered bottled water when in India. I accept it. She probably knows that. Because she smirks at me. A side note, I'm overjoyed to see that smirk. Because this broken down house and the ramblings of the driver and her quiet resignation at 20 years old has made me quite nervous about what it means to be a Devdasi. Now, I want to ask her the question that will grant her a better life. But this is where everything changes about this meeting. I know you may think that this meeting should have been easier for me because we both have been Devdasis. But I've learned that being a Devdasi now is quite different and has been since the British rule in India. Maitri had a whole Devdasi ceremony and she was married off to Lord Shiva as an 8-year-old and she became a temple dancer and a servant of God. She and her Devdasi mother were both moved to a small room outside the village but near the temple, and so I lied. I had an idea about a quiet resignation about her soul. I just thought it was best to act like I was in dark about how the Devdasi system worked now if I wanted to help her. I'm on a quest here. I'm not tasked here to help a young woman escape prostitution. Yes, I hear myself. You may think I'm trying to reason out my guilt here, but really, this is where my question and her answer was going to help her. She was going to get a whopping chance on an entire new lease for her life in the same lifetime. How many people do you think will receive that? Let me tell you, 3 people. I am tasked to offer that to them. So I could not get distracted by her trauma if I wanted to help her. All right, it's a cycle. I forgot, I just got distracted. I'm trying to break a cycle here. Over my multiple lifetimes, the pattern of me not being able to return home, the pattern of me not being able to remember who my mother was, I'm not sure why I left my home in the first place. Oh, and I'm not talking about this home, this human life, this world. I really am talking about finding my way back home to my birthplace of Daya Prithvi, the place between heaven and earth. I promise you, there is such a place where power to manipulate life lingers on the fingertips of creatures who are inconsolably human-like in not caring about their actions. It's annoying, but it's my home! Though sometimes during a heavy rainstorm, I can hear my name, Nyra, Nyra, whispered mockingly. I bet my human life seems even funnier to them now, because they can maneuver it if I get distracted even for 1 minute. I cannot get distracted if I have to make changes. Well, I have to succeed in being a god. The women who I'm tasked to help when I'm unable to help them, our lives are intertwined forever, and their souls keep lingering in search of something. I'm not sure, in search of home, peace, joy, their mother, I'm not sure. They keep searching. I bet the Dayas are trapping me in the cycle of failing with no end. As if the Dayas have power to mark my destiny. Because I have a plan. Here we are again. It's about to rain, and I'm meeting a Devdasi yet again in another lifetime, unable to convince my direct supervisor, Shri, and the other male gods to stop being adamant about knowing the female experience, to stop placing value on how women should show their devotion to them. Because maybe women then may be allowed to be outrageous or outspoken without being ostracized for it. Because I suspect over my multiple lifetimes that originally a Devdasi was chosen because she did not fit the mold of societal norms of that time. Thousands and thousands of lives broken because she was too odd, or weird, or loud, or bold, or needs to be enslaved before everyone thinks it's okay for women to choose anything without any guilt. Sometimes I wonder if I'm living my life or my mother's. I remember asking Maitri one more question, and that was if she wanted to save someone else. There was no response to that, not even a flickering change in her emotions. Yeah, I knew it was a stupid question to ask. That's probably why I asked her the second stupid question. Maitri, क्या आप किसी को माफ करना चाहते हो? Well, before I could even finish my question, her front door swings open and there are a bunch of local police wallas coming at me in their brown khaki uniforms. They've turned me around, pulled my arms behind my back, and handcuffed me. The entire time I can see Maitri being consoled by one of the cops. Before I could even begin to understand that my quest and my freedom both are at stake, I see my driver Ram rush in. He starts speaking very fast and aggressively in Kannada to one of the cops and gets slapped in his face. The loud smack wakes me up from my shock, and I shout at Ram to walk out of this mud hut, go to my hotel, get my emergency contact number from the front desk, and call that number, and tell that man on the other side to come help save his wife. That's the code word for my gay best friend in US to start throwing his legal knowledge and power around to get me the hell out of another mess. As I'm shoved inside the police jeep, I can see Maitri peek out at me before she's pulled in with her dusty door shut in my face. Even after a few hours of being behind bars, I'm still in disbelief that I am arrested in India for trying to help a Devdasi. And listening to my imprisoned neighbor sometimes threatening me, and sometimes spewing out horrendous words of endearment, I wonder if I'm being set up as an example to scare the villagers who want to help Devdasis like Maitri. And if I was a white person, would this have been an international news? And maybe then, temple dancers would not just be exoticized. When people would learn about my adoption and that I was born in India, I was always looked to connect Indian culture and India today. Finally, at 18, I was fed up and yelled at my best friend to pick up a book about India written by a historian if he cared so much to learn about Indian culture. Mark, I'm an Indian American and have an opinion. I'm not your cultural outlet or an easy access to something exotic. translated for you what I asked Nyra before I got arrested by the local cops, who were probably bribed by her pimp. I asked her if she wanted to forgive someone. I can't help her with that anyway. But I did end up helping her after I was out of jail. Through a non-profit organization, I sponsored her transition to a different city in the same state, along with her ongoing health and educational support until she got a job. Exactly what any government can do for people like her. But I failed in my quest and lost my last chance to be a god this lifetime. Patty and Nyra made it impossible for me to offer them a choice. Margaret, on the other hand, managed to make a choice. But her 100 years with cancer is not something that I want to be responsible for. Men have had a turn-in and still have not managed to be perfect gods or messiahs. How can we expect women to be perfect gods with no help? I needed some help here. Shri, are you listening? Yes, I understand why Nyra helped get me arrested. It is suspicious when hope just walks in your door, when darkness is all she had experienced. Though I have hope, at least now, on her good days. She believes that doors can open with hope and opportunity, unexpectedly. And it's okay to not know what prompted that hope. Her soul cannot stop feeling resigned. Believing in our goodness, and goodness offered to us, can be two of the toughest jobs for many. Now, being good and nice can be heavy sometimes. It's easier to rant and break. I'm sorry, I'll always get distracted. I lose track of time. But, oh, is it time? Yes, time to meet the jailer. Just kidding. She's my favorite bartender. She makes these amazing drinks for me. Perfect recipe of elixir that will make your taste buds jump with joy and wonder. I call it reason. Thank you. Yeah, what did I even learn this lifetime? And what I understand, what I know, is that hope is indeed a tangible thing, explored expansively by artists with sheer need of wanting better, sometimes with less or no scientific basis or facts. I have to do this left and right brain dance between inspiration and fact. I cannot be picky after all. My destiny is to be a god. Someday, sometime, another lifetime. Even if I keep getting set up with quests designed to pickle. Oh, I can be the ceiling breaker. Or find a way to be under a ceiling with holes. But that does not work. The faulty ceiling might fall on my head and I might die before I even begin my quest. See, why do I say such things? That's a situation for me to think about in another lifetime, but I promise you, there is reason for you here, if you choose to have it.